Hello everyone! This is going to be one of those every few month update videos that I try to go through some really important things but try not to waste too much of your time. Apologies for how this sounds or looks, Adam is not helping me with this at all. This is going to be a very important video that I'm going to try to go through quickly, but please watch the whole thing, it's going to be important. In this update video, we are going to be talking about Persona Danganronpa, what happens next, and the fate of the channel, and a lot of stuff like that. There's going to be some sneak peeks, teasers, and pretty cool announcements, so let's just finally start talking. Okay, starting off with the meat and potatoes, let's talk about Persona Danganronpa. We released episode 2 around 3 weeks ago, and I was blown away with the amount of positive support that came from that video. Right now, it has the most comments on any video I've ever uploaded, and most of them are just like praising the video, which astounds me because part 1 has not only twice the viewership, but had a mystery. There was a lot of people commenting their speculation. For the most part, part 2 doesn't have a lot of that. It's mainly just, paying off that mystery. But holy shit, you guys seem to love that one. I tried to really cut back on the amount of JoeFredrick office scenes and, the usual, plugging my channel and stuff, because I really wanted episode 2 to be focused on the mystery and the trial because of just how much work we put into making the art assets and animations and all of that. I'm just really happy with how it was received. And luckily, all that effort wasn't wasted on you guys because we got a lot of compliments about both the art and the voice actors in that project. Now, obviously, as the creator, there are some things that I wish I did differently. Like, for starters, the whole mystery and murder isn't the coolest that you could imagine. I had to make it kind of simple with the way that it was done because this is, the first chapter. There's a lot of my fans who don't know Danganronpa, so I had to make the kill kind of easy to ascertain. But some people did comment wishing that, the mystery was a bit, easier to solve with the evidence given, because a lot of the time it's just people presenting new stuff. But I brought on more writers for chapters 2 and 3, and they are some of the most fun things I've ever written in my life, so I am uber excited to get into chapters 2 and 3. We've already started scripting and recording for episode 3, so it is in the works, but this is kind of where the point of this update needs to be discussed, and that's how are we going to be able to even keep making this series? Everything I've said up till now about it being received wonderfully and getting some of the nicest compliments in my life on that video are true, but there are some things that are becoming apparent as it's, spending some time uploaded. The fan base that is dedicated to this series is diehard. They are some of the coolest people ever. I can't believe a channel of my size has that amount of a community already. But something that's kind of unfortunate is if you start to look at the view totals for this series compared to what I was making before, you'll notice a pretty stagnant decline. When I was doing more single video bizarre situation uploads like Survive an Island, Survive a Zombie Apocalypse, Survive Five Nights at Freddy's, those have been doing really well, from the 70 to 80k to 120k thresholds. And I personally thought that doing a Persona Danganronpa series would be one of the biggest appeals I could have had, but it's becoming more niche than I thought it would be widespread. Right now, part 2 of the series, which has had the most production value into anything I've ever made, is sitting at barely under 30,000 views, when something simpler for me to make that required way less effort, like Persona Bears or Island, are sitting at 70k at that point. And that's not to say those earlier videos were easy. God, no, those still took a lot of time to make, but when you compare it to the Persona Danganronpa series that has voice actors and 100 plus custom art assets, there's a pretty big difference in how much this costs when you compare it by those factors. And it's not like we just suddenly have all the art assets we need to make the rest of the series. We want to introduce more sprites for some of the characters that didn't have a lot, like the Persona 3 cast. We want to make fully animated executions, which is why we had to cut off episode 2 from including it. We want to add more mini-games to the trials and bump up how much we can make it look like a Danganronpa game with non-stop debates and scrum debates and more debates. Hangman's Gambit? That's the name of one of them. But right now, trying to do all of that on basically my shoulders alone is kind of impossible. The editing and art team have been incredibly generous and patient with me during all of this, but basically, I don't want to spend too much time talking about this because I don't want it to sound like a sap story I'm using to peddle a tin can online. But for the past 4 years, I've been doing delivery service jobs like DoorDash and Uber Eats, but during November, my car got absolutely totaled. I won't get into much of the details here, maybe I'll bring this up on a stream, but essentially, it wasn't even my fault. Of course it's not. Why would I claim responsibility? One of my neighbors totaled my car on their way backing out of their driveway, and they didn't have any insurance, and the insurance I had at the time didn't cover anything. So that's put me out of my main source of income. Since late November, I've been looking for a replacement job that I can go to keep funding this series, but I'm in the weeds of seasonal hiring right now where everyone's already kind of hired what they need and now they're off-letting them. And also, not to dox myself, I live in the middle of fucking nowhere now with no means of transportation, so that's already limiting my abilities of what job I can go get immediately. That doesn't mean I'm just, like, not getting a job, by the way. That's just kind of me venting how I'm trying to get this done, and it might take a little longer than I wanted it to. Okay, but what does this all mean? What am I trying to tell you? Essentially, and I really hate to phrase it this way, as you can tell, I have not scripted this entire video, but if the Danganronpa Persona series is going to continue, we do kind of need way more support on Patreon just to genuinely make it function. I'm still going to be doing my best to fund this out of pocket from whatever side jobs and contract work I can get, but with how big of a production this has become and how much I want to fulfill on the expectations you guys have, I really need help on the Patreon being able to do that. You guys know me, if you've been on one of my streams, you know I actually genuinely hate when people like donate money because I get all shy and insecure and like, I don't deserve it. But this money specifically needs to go to the people who have been pouring their heart, hours, and soul into this project like me. Shout out VixMix, Gary, Adam, and all the voice actors from part 1 and 2. Up on the Patreon right now, though, are a few very enticing bonuses. As of last night, I have uploaded the storyboards for the Katone execution for episode 3, as well as the first 15 or so pages of the script for that episode. On top of these, I've uploaded the first 6 minutes of the next video, which is a sequel to the Persona Character Absurd Facts video I did a while ago. Additionally, for the next 3 uploads, I am going to move the cameo chance requirement from tier 4 down to tier 2. If you've noticed, the past few videos didn't have a Patreon cameo, it's because I did reach out to everyone who was in tier 4 to try to get them to come make an appearance, but no one responded to me, so anyone who is a $10 member or higher for the next 3 uploads has a chance of being in one of the next uploads. So like guys, I really don't want to sit here and do like another sob story about please give the funny white boy on the internet money so he can keep talking about Persona, because that's just a pathetic way to look. But like, I'm really trying to make a series that a lot of the people in the fandom can enjoy, and also use it as a means for me to give like constant work and employment to other people who are passionate about this series, and Patreon is the best way to do it. Whether you're a tier 4 or tier 1 member, it would genuinely mean the world to me, because let's be honest, YouTube ad rates are fucking ass. As for the future of the next couple uploads, the way that I see it going is in the next week or 2, we're going to upload the full version of that Absurd Fact Part 2 video covering all the side characters in the Persona series. Part 1 did surprisingly really well, sitting at 80,000 views, so I figured it was worth a sequel. Then we're going to upload a second compilation of parts 4, 5, and kind of 6 of the Persona Bear series. This will conclude Persona Pokemon, Persona Zombies, and the Smash Taxes video. In these compilations, I like to jump in from the future and add new character segments and give thoughts based on what comments people left on those videos. And I was originally going to include Danganronpa as the 6th part, but as you can tell, that's kind of blown out of proportion. So we're going to include the Smash Taxes video, but with a new segment covering which Persona characters have canonically paid taxes, which is a lot more interesting than you think it would be. Then after that video, I have one surprise, really fun project I'm going to be doing during, the progress on Persona Danganronpa. I know I'm talking about all these other videos I'm working on, but I want it to be very clear that Persona Danganronpa is the main priority and is constantly being worked on in the background. We're just splitting the team and multitasking to make sure that we can do everything effectively. But Persona Danganronpa is being worked on as fast as humanly possible. That is still the main priority. I don't want to get anyone's hopes up too high, but I'm hoping to have episode 3 out by the end of April. But that's pretty much going to cover it for now. There's a lot of other thoughts I have about the series, the channel, what I want to do, but I don't want to make this video too much longer, so I will leave a pinned comment kind of explaining things in more detail for those who are interested. But ultimately, the thought I do want to leave everyone with is I truly believe that 2026 could be the best year of this channel ever, and I'm really excited to get into it with all of you. So thank you so much for watching. If you were able to watch this, these tend to get unlisted after like a week or two, but yep. Thank you guys. I love you. Kiss your dads.